Hi, I'm Chris Getz. Welcome to Ultimate Boxing. Let's train. You got to punch from the guard. You got to keep that right hand up, right? Good. Yeah, pace yourself, but you got to go for 30 seconds. Make sure your hands come from your guard, Shane. Make sure they come from the guard. Nice job, guys. Looking good. See, now always comes back to the jabs. No matter what round it is, at what point in the fight, it's always going to start off the jab. Right, send that jab, find the right distance. There you go, that's good. Yeah, your uppercut's gotten stronger. Yeah, good job. Let's talk about what you need to be a well-equipped boxer. You want to tend to all the details of your sport, and being well-equipped is a very important detail. So I'm going to show you some equipment you're going to need. I'm going to show you in the order of importance that you're going to need them. One of the first things you're going to need is a hand wrap, just like I have on here. So you want, you have a lot of variety of hand wraps. These are somewhat elastic. These are known as Mexican style, and they're 180 inches in length. And you're going to use these to wrap your hands. And this is important because you can be punching a lot, and you want to make sure that your wrist is well protected. Not just your wrist, but also your knuckles. Also, the proper execution of the punch is going to be important, so you hit with the top of your knuckles right where you're wrapping, and not another part of your hand. After you get the wraps, what you're also going to need is a pair of bag gloves. Now, I recommend the lighter pair of bag gloves. There's a lot bigger bag gloves out there. Some are heavier. Some people like them because the added weight they feel is an added workout. I think these are better. I think it's much more natural to punch with less weight on your hand. And another advantage to having a lightweight glove is that you can feel your punch very well through the bag glove against the bag or against the target. And when you do that, you're sure to make your fist more correctly. So I'm not advocating that you get injured in order to learn how to punch correctly, but you're going to feel, if you're punching incorrectly, much sooner with this glove than if you have a really big cushion glove. Those big cushion gloves came along because of the aerobic boxing craze, and it was very important that people punch safely, quickly, so they gave them a big cushy glove through which they couldn't hurt themselves. For my guys who are more, in the competitive arena, if they move from a glove like that to a competitive glove, which is a lot lighter, the risk of them hurting themselves is greater because they haven't learned how to form a correct fist and how to punch correctly against a bag. So hand wraps and bag gloves are the first things you're going to need. And you can wear, tennis shoes or go barefoot for a while, but I also suggest quickly after that you have a good pair of boxing shoes. The thing about boxing shoes is the sole is thin and it's very even. And generally on a boxing shoe, and not more than a wrestling shoe, a boxing shoe is going to glide a little bit easier. So when you twist on the ball of your foot, it's going to happen a lot easier. Wrestling shoes have a bigger grip, and it's going to hold you back from turning, so you're not going to get the turn into your punch that you're looking for. And because there is a lot of twisting, I'm also afraid that maybe you may do some damage to your knee if you have a real sticky shoe. It's better to have a shoe that glides a little bit against the floor. So you have shoes, wraps, and bag gloves. Now you're probably going to move in some area of contact. And before you do anything, you want to have a mouth guard. One thing you can't replace is your teeth. So you want to have a real good mouth guard that will protect your teeth. More than that, this mouth guard that I'm showing you has a big bite on it. So it's about about half an inch between your teeth. And this is known as a brain pad. What you're doing is you're putting a lot of cushion between the bottom jaw and the upper mandible. So when you do get hit, it absorbs a lot of the shock, and you tend not to get jarred as much in your head. Also, it tends to alleviate any type of injury to your jaw right here, which also happens when you get punched, maybe with an uppercut, and you have a very thin mouth guard. So this double mouthpiece, I think, is much better, so I will look for that. It also has a big hole in the middle that lets you breathe much easier. Sometimes it's hard to breathe through your nose may be clogged, and you're going to need that extra room to breathe. This makes it very easy to get plenty of air when you're working out. Of course, when you start moving into the ring where you're sparring, you're going to need a groin cup and a headgear. Okay? You're going to need these to protect yourself. Another thing you're going to need, of course, are sparring gloves. Now these gloves are for sparring. These are known also as training gloves. These are 18 ounces. So guys who weigh 175 and above in my gym, I have them wear 18-ounce gloves. People between about 130 and 170, I wear 16-ounce gloves. And below that, they wear 14-ounce gloves. I have a couple women who box, and they're only 100 pounds, and I'll permit them to wear 12-ounce gloves. So it's sort of dependent on your weight class, what size glove you wear. Again, around 100 pounds, you can go as low as 12-ounce gloves to train with. Between like 105 or 110 and 130 pounds, you have 14-ounce gloves from 130 to 175, 16-ounce gloves, and above there, 18-ounce gloves like this. So you're going to want to have the good gloves. You're going to want to have, proper headgear. What's important is you get a lot of padding on the front of the headgear. You want to take it, used to say Everlast. Everlast used to be the only people who made really good headgear. So we have a term, you got to take it on the Everlast. Meaning when a punch comes in, you want to get your head down and absorb it here, not on your nose and certainly not on your chin. So you want to have a good headgear with plenty of cushion in the front like this. Okay, we already talked about the groin protection. This goes on the outside of your pants, so it's very easy to go over your trunks or over your workout pants when you're training, slips on, slips off. When you fight, this goes underneath your trunks. Some other pieces of equipment you might want to get to have on a personal use is a jump rope. Jump rope is a very important conditioning tool that we use. We jump a lot of rope, usually between 10 and 20 minutes every time you work out, and you do it as a cool down. It works your cardiovascular conditioning. It also helps you quite a bit with your footwork because it's very tricky. It helps you with your coordination. You don't need generally to get mitts unless you're working out with a partner, and these are punch mitts. And again, I think we mentioned earlier in the tape that you want to get the best ones you can. So good mitts like this are important, particularly if you're going to work with a partner and he's going to hold the mitts for you. If you join a boxing gym, you may not have to get your own. There's going to be trainers there who will have them. But I don't think it's a bad investment. You may want to look into a good set of punching mitts. Okay? I think we covered everything. In order to be really successful in your sport, you want to be a well-equipped boxer. If you're going to go ski, I'm sure you guys will go out there and buy the best skis available. I think instead of using equipment that's in the gym, being used by people, you should have it's personal, it's for your own personal use. One of the first and most important pieces of equipment you're going to need to get is a wrist wrap. And this is to protect your wrist. When you're boxing, there's a risk of hurting your wrist. So if I punch incorrectly, my wrist is going to get bent down or bent up or even to the side this way. And I also want to get a little extra padding between my knuckles and the target I'm going to be striking. So to protect the wrist and also protect the knuckles. Now there's a variety of wrist wraps. This is a springy one. It's called a Mexican hand wrap. Okay, it's slightly elastic. This is the one that we prefer, but there's also a linen one, and it's a little bit stiffer, and it's just a matter of preference. This is 180 inches in length. I recommend you get a wrist wrap that's 180 inches in length. Now, follow along with me, get your wrist wrap, identify where it's going to say, most wrist wraps say this side down. Okay, so you do at the end, when you attach the Velcro, it's going to be in the right position. So there's a little loop here for your thumb. Place that over your thumb this way. Okay, come back across the wrist. Now we want to start slightly below the wrist, about one wrist strap distance below the wrist. I'm going to go around about 3 times. Okay, this will be 1. Okay, this will be 2, right? And kind of securing a good base. Now don't wrap it too tight, just slightly snug. See, I'm not really pulling. It's laying flat, but there's no extra space there either. And then I come around a 3rd time. Okay, and when I come up this way, I'm going to go back along the back of my wrist. Now, this is when it's important to keep your wrist bent slightly backwards. That will overcompensate for when your wrist bends down. So keep it bent back a little bit this way. And also keep your fingers spread. You want your fingers spread apart. This is going to keep it so that your wrap doesn't get too tight. Okay. I'm going to come back across the wrist again. Now I'm coming from a different direction. As I come underneath, I'm going to go around the thumb this way. Once I go around the thumb, I'm going to continue back along the back of the hand. At this point, I'm going to come back along the wrist again, and I'm going to wrap the thumb from the other side. So I'm coming back to here, and I'm going to lay it back along the wrist. Take the wrist wrap up and go between the fingers. I'll start between the two small fingers. Back around. Now at this point I want to clench my fist. That way I'm not going to be wrapping too tight and I can feel that it's going to be snug. I'm going to come up again. Right? Flatten out the wrist wrap. Okay. And one more time. Like this. Okay, and we're going to secure around the wrist. This is going to be as support. I'm going to come up over top of the hand again. Go around the knuckles here. This will give me a little bit added padding that I'm looking for. Bring it back across the wrist again. Now you can see the Velcro. Okay, this is the hook part, or the loop part. I'm going to come around. All right, just kind of make sure it's nice and snug and get a nice final attachment right there. So that's how my wrist strap looks. Look at it from the front. This would look like underneath. Okay, so I make a fist. I have a nice strong fist. And again, I got a little bit of padding on my knuckle, but the main purpose is to keep my wrist from bending down. In fact, it's kind of difficult to do so with the wrist strap, and that's important. Particularly as I get fatigued, I'm going to be hitting the bag for several rounds to develop my endurance, and I may get a little tired. I don't want to make an error and let my wrist bend down. This wrist strap that we're using is for training purposes. It's made out of linen or a spongy material, and it's meant to protect you when you're training. When you go to do a competition, your trainer is going to wrap your wrist with gauze, and he's going to secure it with tape. And he'll know how to do that. This is just for training, but this is very important. Make sure you have a good wrist strap before you start your training. Hello, welcome to Fundamental Boxing. My name is Chris Getz. We're going to cover how to box, how to stand when you're boxing, how to guard yourself, how to move around with your feet. We're going to talk about the fundamental punches, the fundamental defenses. So let's start with the beginning. This is how to stand in boxing. So you want your feet about shoulder width apart when you're standing. Go about this far apart. Keep your feet at a normal angle, just slightly outward this way, not too much. Step back with your right foot. Okay, it's going to be about the same depth that you stepped sideways. Okay, turn your stance about this far, and your feet should point pretty much to about this direction, which would be about 1:30 on the clock. 12 o'clock being directly in front of me, and 3 o'clock being on my side. My feet are pointing to 1:30. Now, my back heel is up off the ground, and my knees are bent. I'm going to sit down in my stance. Now, it's very important that I have good posture and I'm very stable. I want to be relaxed and mobile, but I want to have a very stable position. So I want to keep my hips turned out a little bit. I want to keep my torso very straight, my stomach flat. See, I'm almost tucking my hips up while I'm sitting out. So I'm sitting out with my hips, but I'm keeping my hips rolled forward in order to keep my stomach flat. I'm going to bring my left hand up here to guard myself. So this is my guard hand. I'm going to keep myself sideways as I can so I can block with my shoulder as well, but my hand is my guard hand. I'm going to block my body with my elbow. I'm going to favor the face like this. Okay, I don't want to get hit in the face. Keep my chin down. I'm going to hold my right hand here, ready to defend, but also ready to punch. So this is going to be my counter. So I have my defense here, and I have my counter with my right hand. I'm going to use my left hand sort of like a shield. In fact, if you think about it, it's almost like I'm putting my hand into a shield. And I'm holding it this way. When you defend, you want to make sure you're in a very stable position. You have good leverage. So make sure you sit down a little bit. You can go from the other extreme and actually go all the way down in your stance like this. Like you're getting ready to have a three-point stance in football, and then kind of raise up this way. Okay, you can find your stance like that because I want you seated. I want you rooted in your stance this way. Left hand up, covering the face, elbow in, very straight line vertically. My right hand is here, okay, elbow is covering my liver. Now I'm going to favor defending my face with this hand. I'm going to cover blocking my body with this arm, with my elbow, and I'm going to attack with this hand. So I'm going to defend and attack. Later we're going to cover some other defensive positions where you can bring the right hand around as a defense and use your left hand to counter. We're going to have you go like this also, where you drop your left hand slightly and you block with your backhand. So you're going to block things from this side with your backhand, which is a little bit more advanced. Right now, as the attack comes in on our left side, we're going to defend with the left hand, have the right hand here ready to counter. Let's look at our boxing stance from the side angle. So I'm going to face this way. I have to make sure I'm facing this direction with shoulder width apart in my feet. I'm step back like this, and I turn sideways. Now my left hand is the hand that's guarding, my right hand is here. Bend your knees, sit down like this. You may be able to see my hips kind of rolled out a little bit. So I want to keep that leverage position, just like I'm going to use my shoulder to push something with. Left hand up here, right hand like this. Now you could have your weight shifted forward at times, or you could have it shifted back. But I want you to try to make sure you are stable in the middle between both legs. Now let's talk about the fundamental footwork of boxing. Starting your stance, shoulder width apart, stepping back, turning sideways, feet point up about 130, left hand up, right hand here, sitting back with leverage, and off the back heel a little bit. And we're going to drive forward. The first thing we're going to do is step forward. So we're up off the back heel a little bit, and we're ready to spring in. So we're going to step forward with the left foot, and now we're going to come back. I'm going to step forward and come back. I can do the same thing going backwards. I'm going to push off my front foot, push my back foot back, and now return. So I go back, I move the back foot first. If I go forward, I move the forward foot first. Okay, and back. Now that's a half step. We're going to take a full step forward. We're going to step forward with the left foot and bring the back foot forward the same distance. Now we'll return. We'll go back foot and forward foot. So forward foot first. Then my left foot moves about 6 inches. My right foot's going to move the same distance. So they're equal steps. Going backward, 2 equal steps. And I refer to that as a full step. That's a full step forward. This is a full step back. Now the same rule applies if we're going from side to side. If you're going to go to your left, you're going to move your left foot first. If you're going to go to your right, you're going to move your right foot first. So we're going to take a full step to our left. We're going to go left foot, right foot. And then we'll return right foot, left foot. Let's take a look at that again. Going to the left, left foot, right foot. Same dimensions, same depth, same knees bent. And then I move to my right, right foot, left foot. Now all this footwork should be done slowly to learn it. Make sure you're consistent with your footwork, but then you start to speed up. Bend down your knees. Now we're going to push off the back foot. So the drive comes off the back foot. We're going to move forward. Full step forward. Full step back. Full step forward. Full step back. Let's do a step to the left and a step to the right. Step to the left, step to the right. Now, let's go back and forward. So we'll go back and forward this way. Back and forward. We can go to the right and return. Now we can move the right foot first. To the right and return. Let's talk about how we may apply this particular footwork against a real situation. I could step in and decide that it's not a good time to punch and I have to jump right back out. So I can come in and get back out. Come in and get back out. So I want to make that quick. I want to go forward and back. Forward and back. Going back, I may be avoiding a punch. So I may avoid a punch, step back, and then I return. I return right away, try to capitalize on the person missing. Step back and return. So back and forward. When I step back, I'm prepared to move back in again. So I'm prepared to come right back. I don't want to step back and have my weight off my legs, leaning back this way, and then have to regroup to move forward. I want to be prepared to come right back in. Same when I'm going forward, prepared to come right back out. Back. Now we can do it to the left. We can go to the left also. So we go left foot, right foot. If we go to the right, we're going to go right foot, left foot. So let's go to the left and we'll return to the center. So go left and return. Left and return. Now we're going to do the same thing going to the right. To the right and return. To the right and return. Now, practical applications of this type of footwork is to avoid a straight-on attack, almost like a matador in a bull. You're going to sidestep it and let him go this way. So I'm going to move to the left, let my opponent
go past me and maybe punch with the right hand. And now I'm going to return. So I go to the left, let the person go past me, and take advantage of that. So I want to practice good footwork so that's automatic. Step to the left, and then return. Step to the left, and return. Okay, and for the same thing, we can move to the right. We can move this way and avoid our opponent from this side. So as our opponent comes into us, we move to this side and return. As I move to this side, I can open a new line tag with my left hand and return. Okay, so let's do a drill where we review all 4 directions. We'll go forward and back, or forward and back to the center, back and return to the center, to the left and return to the center, and then to the right and return to the center. And we'll do it slowly a few times, then we'll start to speed up, and you can practice along with it. Hands up here, bend your knees, get in a good low stance, make sure you have nice leverage, hands are up, ready to spring. Okay, spring forward and return. Forward and return. Let's go back. We'll go back and return. Back and return, right? And test yourself a little bit from time to time. See how fast you can move. If you start to fall apart with your footwork, slow it down, and then speed it up again. Now we're going to go to the left and return right away. To left and return. To left and return. And now we're going to move to the right and return. To the right and return. Okay, the whole drill, slowly. Forward and back, back and forward, to the left and to the center, to the right and to the center. Forward and back, back and forward, left and center, right and center. Forward, back, back, forward, left, center, right, center. Okay, a little faster. These are some common mistakes with your stance and your footwork that people make that can actually put them in peril in a situation with their boxing. So far, shoulder width apart, and we turn back this way. Now, the reason we make an emphasis on being shoulder width apart, let's go back over that, is because we want to be in a very stable position. So when we go back here, this is where you're going to be when you're punching with your right hand. And this is your last line of defense. So you got to be in a position where you always strike the guy strong with your right hand. So you need to have your stance like this. Sometimes, however, when you stand like this, you could be very exposed. So you don't want to be too wide in your stance. You can be more vulnerable. So let me go back over how we found our stance. We went back this way, and we turned sideways to be more defensive. We have the left side in front of us, the distance of our shoulder even to keep us between the opponent and myself. Now when I go to punch, I have to turn forward. Now I'm going to expose myself while I'm punching. That's just part of attacking somebody. So you have to be careful that you're not overexposed and too wide of a stance. So too wide of a stance is a very common problem in the beginning. The second common problem is for people to be too narrow. So when I'm too narrow like this, I can't really turn and get a good right hand off. I can't get those hips around, and I'm not in a stable position. I'm going to be easily thrown off balance. So I have to find a very fine line between being just right and too wide or too narrow. So it's shoulder width. So review that several times. Get your stance shoulder width, and step back about shoulder width and distance, and turn. Get down on your knees. You want to keep your knees bent, be really stable. This brings us into the next mistake people make commonly, and that is be too wide in their stance, because they're looking for stability. They're trying to get low. So instead of bending their knees, they're just widening their feet. Now this makes you stable, but it makes you slow. You can't move around. You lack mobility. You're also going to lack a little bit of power because I can't really turn my hips as well. So I can't get a full rotation. I have to have my feet comfortably underneath me, shoulder width apart, shoulder width in depth. So when I turn, it's going to facilitate that turn of my body, facilitate that turn. So common mistakes, and that's going to be being too narrow or being too wide and being too deep. And we should mention you can be too narrow and too small, too close together like this. This will, give you a lot of mobility. You can run away really quickly, but you would lack any type of defensive power. So you want to get at least where you have ability to bend your knees this way. Now, when people are moving around, a common mistake is not only to move one foot all the time and get wider and wider. Make sure as you do your steps, you're dragging your other foot around, somewhat reluctantly. Let's look at that from the side, because this is another common mistake. People are moving their stance. You want to drag the back leg. It wants to come up somewhat reluctantly. You step out that left foot, and you have to kind of pull that right foot up with you. If you anticipate the fact that you're going to step too much, you take the first step and you bring the right foot up too much, you're going to throw your weight back, and you're going to be not able to deliver any power or hurt your opponent, and be very vulnerable yourself because you get knocked off balance. So how you move your feet is also important. You want to push that first foot out, you want to push it out, and then you want to pull the back foot up. When I go backwards, I want to push that back foot back, and I want to pull my forward foot. So there's a push and a pull. So like how you approach your step work or how you intend it, it's going to affect how you do it, whether you do it correctly. We have other mistakes. While people are moving around, they start to cross their feet this way. We talked about how that is dangerous. You're going to be narrow. People go this way and they get too square when they're shuffling to the right. So make sure as you shuffle, you keep your angle consistent. When I shuffle to my right, and as you shuffle around somebody, that's going to change. As you change your angle to them, or as you move to your right, that angle changes. You have to adjust. When you go to your left, you have to adjust. Now, because you're moving in a circle, your right foot may have to move a little bit extra in order to catch that right line. Or if you move over with your right foot, you may have to move a little bit extra. Just pay attention to where your opponent is and try to line up nice and sideways. You want to control your footwork, but you also have to control your upper body. So now that we're in our stance and we're very consistent with our footwork, we move in the correct order, whether we're going forward or back, to the left or to the right, and we do that automatically. I have to pay attention to how I'm standing. I don't want to be leaning back. When I lean back, I put my weight on my heels and I'm very vulnerable. So if you lean up this way, you're going to get hit. You got to stay in this somewhat crouched position. A little bit of a tilt forward, but not much. If you lean forward too much, you're going to be pulled off balance. Someone puts their hand on top of your head, or if they catch you with an uppercut underneath, you're going to be vulnerable. So you have to find a balanced position this way. Now, we also could be out of line sort of like this, where the left hip is up too high, where the right hip is up too high, where the left hip is down too low. So always make sure that you're nice and straight like this. Your hips here are sort of trying to form a level mesa that your body's stacked on top of. So you're moving it around much like the turret of a tank. So a tank moves around, has that turret on top. That's how you want to move your body. Keep your body well poised. That brings up another point. Well poised in your body, not changing your height. Don't give away your movement by changing your height. It's very easy to come up. It's very easy to come up when you move forward. It's very easy to come up when you move back. You want to sit down. When you come forward, you don't want to give away your movement, so you don't want to go up. If I go up, you're going to see it. I want to stay level. You're not going to pick up that depth change as much. You're going to pick up this or this if I go wide, but just coming in like this, you're not going to pick up very well. When I go back, I got to stay low. I got to stay low because I need that leverage down here. I need to sit down in order to defend that person. He's got a little momentum if he's coming forward. So when I step back, I don't want to come up and let my opponent kind of get underneath me and push me back and continue to push me back. I won't get any effective strikes off, and he'll be able to hit me effectively. So as you move back, you want to stay down low also. So for being stable, you want to keep your height level, and for not being detected, you want to keep your height level. So work on that body posture. You're always keeping your ribs kind of compressed, your back straight, your hands in here, chin down. Look out of the top of your eyes, so if you do get hit, you're going to get hit on the top of your head right here, where you would head a soccer ball, right here. Hello, this is Shane Agnew. He's going to help me demonstrate the fundamental footwork with an opponent, and in this case, a partner. Shane's going to be my partner. So this is going to be the way I function when I'm in the ring with a sparring partner or with an opponent. So get in your stance. So we'll start this way. Yeah, let's go over how we found our stance. We go shoulder width with our feet this way, and then you step back with your right foot. Good. And you turn a little sideways like that. That's good. That's our stance. Now let me demonstrate some of the things I was doing. One, I'm a little far away from Shane, so I'm going to just kind of sneak forward, and I'm going to use my proper footwork to do that. Now I'm just going to show you how to step in, and I come back. So I step in, and I come back. And that's my half step. And that's important to remember because we're going to talk about a half step later on in the series. So I'm going to step in and come back like that. Now I can step away from him, so if he's punched me, I can move back this way. I can move back. I can take a full step forward, okay, and then return. A full step forward, and return. And then a back step. Full step back, and return. Full step back, and return. Now, we can work with a partner where actually he works on his footwork as I work on mine. So we want to maintain this distance. We feel comfortable. I feel just out of his range. He feels just out of mine. But he's not so far away that I can't press on him and actually score. So what I want to do is to sort of maintain this distance. And he wants to maintain this distance. So when I step in, he's going to step back with his right foot. So let's do the half step. Half step, and then return. Good. Let's try to stay the same distance apart. Step, and return. Good. And let's stay low. Let's get down a little lower. Step and return. Okay, and as Shane moves forward, I'll move back with my right foot. So move forward and return. Good. And I move back and return. Just a little helpful reminder. Stay off that back heel even as you step back. So step in and return. Good. Now let's do a full step. You'll take a full step back. I'll take a full step in. Okay, ready? Move. And then move. Good. Okay, just on our own count. Ready? Go. Good. Let's do it. Okay, come back. Let's do that. We'll go back and forth 3 times. All right, and that's going to be the exact same footwork even if he initiates the movement. So let's have Shane step forward, take a full step forward. I'll take a full step back, and now you go and return. Good. Let's do that 3 times. Good. Now, let's make it a little bit more complicated. You take 2 steps back, I'll take 2 steps forward, and then I'll retreat 2 steps. Okay, so 2 steps, and then 2 steps back. 2 steps back, right, for you, and 2 steps forward for you, and I'll go back, right. So let's go back and forth. Let's do that 3 times. Good. All right, stay right here. Move in. Now we have to move to the left and the right. As I move to my left, he's going to move to his right. Move to your right. There you go. Good. And let's return. Okay, move to your right and return. Good. Now this time I'll go to my right first. So I'll step to my right and you step to your left. Good. And let's return. And return. Okay, take 2 steps to your right. I'll take 2 steps to my left. And return. Good. One more time. And return. Good. So we're maintaining the same angle, and we're maintaining the same distance, even when we go sideways or forward. Everything stays the same. Now we're going to circle. I'm going to circle to my left. He's going to circle to his left. So start moving to your left. Okay, let's stop right here. Move back a little bit. Okay, now I'll move to my right, you move to your right. Stop. Good. All right, very good. So we did forward and back. So go back and return. I'll go forward and return. Okay? Good. Very good. Yeah, see, Shane's very fast. That's good. That makes me be a little faster. Now, you don't want to compete, very friendly with your partner. You want to try to work together. It's a lot like synchronized an event here. It's synchronized. You want to work, make sure he's successful. You both be successful at the same time. There's a drill you can have yourself do. Why don't you back up just 1 step? Good. Let me get a cone. Now you can place a cone or any piece of equipment on a floor. Another real popular thing you do is actually to paint lines on the floor. You paint a circle. So let's imagine a circle around this cone. Okay, just an equal circle this way. Now that's the path your left foot's going to travel as it goes around. Your right foot is going to be on a circle out here, so a wider circle that goes around the same cone. So his feet are moving in a parallel path. So circle to your left. Imagine your left foot has to stay on this line. Okay, go ahead and circle. Good. Stop. Right, now it'll help maintain the correct distance, and it'll make it easier for him to keep the correct angle. He wants to keep that left side turned in. As he moves around, it's very easy, because the feet are not moving equal steps, that you end up being crossed one way or too wide. So you have to always check that. If I take this cone, I draw a line straight back, his toes should just be on one side, and his back heel should just be on the other, or even on the same line. That would be good. Okay, so let's watch that again. At any point that you move around this cone, you have to make sure you line up the same way. Okay, so move around the cone. Good, that's it. A little bigger circle, a little bigger circle. Very good, good. Nice and smooth. Make it nice and smooth. Good, just getting a rhythm. Keep going. Good, a little faster. There you go. Keep going, a couple more laps. This is a good exercise. You can do this for several minutes at a time, 2 or 3 minutes, and develop your endurance. All right, be careful you're moving your feet correct. Keep going. That's it. Just every once in a while, look down, check your feet out, and then look back up. Okay, now move to your right, circle to your right. Good, and draw the same circles with your feet. So your right foot's on the outside circle, and your left foot's on the inside circle. Very good. Keep moving. That's it. Smooth it out a little bit. Make it nice and smooth, nice and fluid. You want to be fluid. Just move a little faster. That's it. Keep your height level. Keep your height level. Very good. That looks a lot better. So same thing going to the sides. You want to stay nice and level. One more time to the left. Now, this is one of the most important drills you can do. First, you have to perfect going straight forward, straight to the side, but then you want to be able to circle very well. Now, circle to your right. Yeah. Now, as we get more comfortable with this drill, we can start to speed up on the change of direction. Change direction. Good. Make sure as soon as you change direction that you move in the correct order, the proper order. If you start moving to your left, it's going to have to be the left foot that moves first. When you move to the right, it's going to have to be your right foot. Okay, change direction. Change direction. Make sure it's the correct order. Make sure it's that left foot that moves. Change direction. There you go. Very good. Now, if you have to slow it down, you can speed it up later. So make sure the feet move in the correct order. Change direction. Good. Make sure it's that left foot that goes first. Pushing off the back foot when you go to the left. Change. 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 All right, very good. Thank you, Shane. This has been the fundamental footwork of boxing. This is the foundation of boxing, having good footwork. Whenever you go into a very classic boxing gym, we're going to have you work footwork, footwork, footwork for many weeks before I even teach you how to punch. So you have to have your footwork down before you start anything else in boxing. You want to make sure that your feet move in the correct order, whether you're going forward or back, that you maintain the same distance between your feet, that you maintain the distance between your opponent, that you maintain the consistent angle. This is often referred to as the lost art of footwork. So often do fighters neglect to work on their footwork that it's considered a lost art. But we've been hearing that for a long time. Let's revive the art, work on your footwork, be dedicated. Every time you do your workout, start with the footwork. And when you practice that, we're going to move on to doing the basic punches of boxing. Okay, we're here to talk about power, how to generate it and how to deliver to your target. First, you want to start in a nice low stance like this. You want to get up off your back heel. You want to have a very low stance and very solid. The most important thing is you want a very stable position. There once was somebody who told me, don't shoot a cannon from a canoe. And what he was trying to say by that was, you don't want to shoot a cannon from a canoe because the canoe would get pushed back. In the same aspect, you don't want to punch somebody from a stance where your knees are bent, maybe my weight's not distributed correctly, because it's going to end up pushing me away from the target as much as I would get the punch to deliver any type of power. So I want to become a very stable position from which to throw my punch. Another important factor is the timing. Now, when I say timing, I'm talking about the timing of the individual body parts.
Your body is is a linked system, just like a whip is a linked system. And we're going to use a whip to talk about how to generate power. So if you think about a whip, you start with a big handle like this. The next link is a little bit smaller. The next link after that is smaller, and it works its way all the way down through all the successive links till you get to the little piece of leather at the end. When you bring the handle of the whip across, you got to stop it suddenly, and what will happen is it will give its momentum to the next link. Now the next link in the chain is of less mass, so it's going to increase in velocity in order to maintain the momentum. So generally one of the rules of momentum is you can't create or destroy momentum. So if you're going to take out some of the mass in the equation, the next link is going to actually have to accelerate in order to conserve the momentum. So the same thing's true when I'm working my body. You can think of the bones of my body forming a linked system. So when I start my punch, I want to concentrate on the timing or the order in which I move my body parts. It's going to start in the lower body and I'll turn the hips. Now when I turn the hips, it's not just turning the hips, it's turning the hips abruptly. And when I turn those hips, I want them to stop abruptly also. I don't want them to come across and kind of break slowly to a halt. I want them to stop abruptly. That's how I'm going to deliver my momentum to the next link, which is my shoulders. As I bring my shoulders around, they're going to stop suddenly also, and from there, my hands are just going to fly out. When I generate a lot of power, my hands moving at an incredible rate of speed. You can also think about the way someone pitches a ball. When a pitcher throws a pitch, he winds his whole body into it, and by the time he releases that ball, a fastball, it's going between 80 and 100 miles per hour, at least a major league pitcher. Your muscles don't contract at that rate. I can't contract my muscles so fast as to generate the ball going 100 miles an hour. The way I have to do that is I have to conserve momentum and give it to the next link and speed it up that way. So the same thing with a punch. I want that body to come around and I want it to stop suddenly and my hands are just going to fly off my back. So there's not very much musculature involved in delivering the punch. I'm going to come in here, pow, okay? But if you think about the arms that extend, your tricep and your chest muscle, they're not even going to be engaged at that point. You are just throwing your punch at the person. Now, we were talking about a whip earlier, and part of snapping a whip is to jerk the handle. So when I bring that handle of the whip across, I have to stop it suddenly. When I stop it suddenly, that's when it gives its momentum to the next link in the chain. So stopping abruptly is also very important. We talked about the hips coming around and stopping abruptly. But more than that, you're going to have to use the muscles in your body that actually contract and keep your arm from extending all the way. That's going to be your bicep and your lats. So it would seem as if we're going to use the tricep and the chest like we do on a bench press, but those are not the punches, those are not the muscles that are going to be engaged in a punch. It's going to be more the lat and the bicep, which are going to snap your hand back. That's how you generate power, and that's how you deliver it. Now, a little bit more than that, what target we're hitting is also going to determine how we generate power and how we deliver it. When you hit to the head's a lot different than hitting to the body. When you hit to the head, you want to snap your shot. One of the reasons why you want to snap your shot is because you want to give your energy immediately to the target. You don't want to have your hand in contact with the head for any length of time. You want to be just very briefly in contact with the target. Now, as opposed to the body, when you hit the body, you're going to have to dig a little bit. We often hear boxers in the corner coaching a fighter saying you want to dig your shots. That's because here, the body's going to be a little bit different. The body's going to give a little bit before it accepts your energy. So you dig your shot like that. There you are going to use a little bit more musculature. Then you're going to have to engage your muscles and drive once you make contact. Again, let's go back and talk about hitting the head. When you hit the head and you're snapping your shots, think about like cue ball. Think about a cue ball and a billiard ball. When one hits the other, they're very elastic collisions. That means the cue ball does not want to give up its shape and the billiard ball does not want to give up its shape. So they impart their energy in a very quick rate. Your knuckles are very hard and the person's head is very hard. So when you hit it, it's going to impart its energy very quickly. Or it has a high impulse. It's going to give it very quickly to the target. Now, when you hit to the body is not quite as hard. It's not as elastic. It's more inelastic. That means it's going to give up its shape a little bit more readily. So as I hit to the body like this, the body is going to expand or distort before it starts to accept my energy. So that's why I dig. Once I make contact, I'm actually going to drive through that target a little bit. So when I'm hitting the head, I'm delivering my energy over a very short distance, about that far. So all my power is concentrated over a very short distance at a very quick rate, has a high degree of impulse. When I'm hitting the body, it's going to go over a slightly larger amount of distance, probably something like this. And there I'm going to drive. So the way I deliver power to the head and the way I deliver power to the body is a little bit different. I think sometimes people who are attacking the body really strong are known as punchers, and people who can snap to the head really well are known as boxers. If you can end up being both, you'll probably be more of a complete fighter. But the way you want to punch the head is with snappy punches, right? And you want to snap them and you want to crack them the same way you crack the handle of a whip. When you dig to the body, that's going to be a little bit more musculature. Now, we were talking before in the beginning about timing. Now, sometimes we use the word timing to mean judgment. Okay, that fighter has good timing. He's able to judge when to hit and when not to hit, when to step and when not to step, or when to punch and when not to punch. But timing also means the order in which the body parts move. Now, the body parts, again, we're reviewing a little bit what we went over. You're going to move that body from the lower part first. You want to move the body, and then the shoulders, and then the hands are the last thing that moves. And I want you to feel like you're throwing it off of your body. I want you to feel like you're throwing your punch. I can give you another example. When you're driving your car and you accelerate to a certain speed and then you put the brakes on suddenly, a lot of times something on the back seat will fly forward. This is the same way you're giving energy to your hand. You can think of your body as the vehicle, right? You're accelerating and then you stop suddenly, you put the brakes on. And when you put the brakes on, the hand flies out. Okay? So again, you're throwing your punch. And you're throwing your punch with your back. Keep your hips rolled back a little bit this way, have good leverage. Make sure you're up on the ball of your foot, ready to explode. Now this is why we were going to talk later about exercises you can do to enhance your boxing potential. I don't think that doing a lot of weightlifting is going to make you punch harder because it makes you stronger. I think that what happens is it's just a good exercise, it's good therapy, it's good cross training. The exercises that are going to help you punch harder are the ones that are going to address more your core and your legs. So doing things like sit-ups and back extensions and rotating exercises, along with things like squats, are going to affect your punch much more than doing something like a bench press or a row. This is how you generate power. It's all about timing. It's about the order in which your body parts move, and more importantly, the order in which your body parts stop. So you want to learn to jerk that body to a stop the same way you jerk the handle of a whip to a stop. As you can see, in order to have a knockout punch, it's more about coordination between the body parts, and it's more about stopping your body. It's not about the muscular strength that you would use like doing a bench press. It is muscular strength, but it starts lower in the core. By the time it gets up to your hand, there's almost no muscle involved at all, except for the muscles to stop your action. So you want to be able to whip or jerk your movements. You want to, bang, jerk your body to a halt and let your hand fly off. That's how you're going to generate the power into the hand and then eventually into the target. Now I'm going to teach you the basic fundamental punches of boxing. Assume your boxing stance, shoulder width apart, step straight back about shoulder width in distance, turn sideways, up off your back heel with your knees bent. You want your toes over your toes, you want your knees over your toes this way. Left hand up, right hand here. Now the first punch we're going to throw is the right hand. We're going to throw it straight right. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to turn and punch right in front of my chin, and then I'm going to bring it right back to the same place in the covering. I'm going to turn forward and punch, and then return. Do it slowly a couple of times so we can look at the detail. Turn and punch, and return. Turn and punch, and return. Notice how when I punch, I completely pronate my hand. But I don't do that until the last possible moment. So I come out, and the last second I turn my thumb down. Punch, punch. Now the generation of power comes from turning my hips. I want to turn those hips sharply to the front as I do the punch.
and then I return to here. There's a very particular type of timing. I want to start that body first. I want to move that body into the punch, boom, and throw the hand down that pike, right down here, bop, bop. All right, turn that hand over. Now there's a little bit of weight shift too. I'm going to have my weight distributed between my feet right here, and I'm going to move forward with the punch. I'm going to move forward with the punch. So I have a couple things working. I have turning my body, and I have shifting my weight, and I have punching. There's one more note I should make right now, and that is you want to focus your breath with your shot. So you want to breathe out when you punch, and you want to hold your breath or tense up your diaphragm right at the moment of impact. Let's take a look at this punch from the sideways stance. There's a lot of things you can pick up, a lot of details. So I'm shoulder width stance facing this direction. I'm up off the back heel. My left hand is guarding. I'm going to turn and punch and then come back. Now watch how I shift my weight. So I'm shifting my weight from my back leg to my forward leg as I hit. And I'm right back out. Watch when I turn my hand down. It's right at the end. So I want to finish shifting my weight. I want to finish turning. And I want to finish with my breath right as I make contact. Where I want to direct this straight right is to the chin. So I want to turn forward and hit to the chin, and we'll come right back this way. I want to aim for where the neck is. That'll make sure I hit something good. I'll probably hit his chin. Now I can also hit to the body. If I drop my weight down to here and punch straight across, I can target the body. I can hit him right in the stomach. I can hit him right near where the kidney is. So I turn and punch this way. So my two target areas right now are either to the head or to the body. To the head and to the body. This is how I apply the straight right against an opponent. So Shane, if you would stand here. So when I take this right hand, I want to go inside his guard. So I want to come in like this and punch him inside of his left hand. So I want to turn and punch, and the target that I'm trying to hit is his chin. I want to catch him right on the button. So in boxing, that's called the button. So I turn forward, I punch him right here. Another target I can hit with a straight right is to the body. So if I sit down and punch, I'm hitting to the body here. Now I sit down because I want to continue to punch shoulder level. When I'm punching his chin, I'm punching shoulder level. And when I punch to his body, I need to sit down, get my shoulders down to his body level as I punch. I don't want to come across. That's a punch we're going to do later. We want to go inside this hand this way. It's a very straight right hand. I want to avoid the elbow coming out to the side. On the straight right, often people bring that elbow out this way as they're punching. You want to keep it in. Turn the hand over at the wrist. Let's face this way. Turn over here. Okay. I'll go right here on Shane. I turn my body, punch right down the center, and return. Punch and return. I want to emphasize that I'm behind my left guard again. So after I punch, I want to put that left guard up there. Continuing the basic punches, this is the straight left. Now we're going to teach it in combination. So we do the straight right, so we're going to do the straight right again. We're going to turn into the straight right, and now we're going to turn back to our stance with a straight left. So it's an identical punch, it's on the other side. So I'm going to turn forward and then come back with a straight left. So it's easier to teach this in combination. Right hand, left hand. Right hand, left hand. Now on my right hand, I turn both my feet. So I'm on the ball of my feet, I'm well balanced. And when I twist, I turn on the ball of my feet. So I twist. Now as I do my left hand, I want to twist on the ball of my feet. So right hand, left hand. Now the reason I teach this in combination is because I want you to get your hip back behind the left hand before you throw the left hand. So when I turn in with the right, I turn forward my left hip here and my shoulder back behind the punch. Now I can turn into the punch and hit with a lot of power. So I turn in right hand, left hand. Now I can do the left hand by itself, and I recommend you practice it this way. What we have to do is we have to add a little movement. We're going to turn forward and block with the right hand. So we're going to change our guard hand. Here's my left hand as a guard. I'm going to twist forward and bring my right hand around as a guard. From this position, I twist into my left hand. I come back to here. All right. And I'm going to return to my guard stance from there. So I turn forward with my feet and twist my feet into the left hand. Let's watch that from the side. Okay, now first in combination, right hand, left hand, right, left, right, left. Now the left hand by itself, turning forward with the guard, left hand, left hand, left hand. Now this straight left is directed towards the chin. So I'm going to turn forward and I'm going to the same place I went with the straight right. Now I can change the height on this and attack the body. So I sit down and punch straight across the body. Turn forward. Turn forward. All right, I want to sit down that left hand. Now watch that from the side. So I turn forward. Turn forward. Okay, a little quicker. Okay, so to the body or the head, the straight left. Let's show how we apply that straight left hand against an opponent. So Shane, can stance this way. Now we taught it in combination, so I taught you to go right hand, left hand. So we're going to go to the same target, we're going to go to his chin, right to the button. So right hand, left hand, like that. Right hand, left hand. Now if I do just the left hand, I come forward like this and I execute my left hand. Now this could have been a block, so he could have been punching me and I could have turned in to block that. So there's a lot of ways that you end up in this position in order to execute that left hand. So it seems like a lot of movement that you're going to run into something, but you plan this. You plan that you're going to end up in this position before you execute the straight left. So it's the straight left by itself. Boom. Let me just do it by myself. Now this is an effective shot to do to the head. It's also an effective shot to do to the body. So I'm going to sit down low, boom, and drive straight across the body. Now I want to keep this shoulder up on my jaw so that I'm somewhat protected. If I do get hit, it's probably going to be in the top of the head where I'm pretty strong, but it's not going to get to my jaw because my jaw is on my shoulder here. So I'm like this, and they try to punch me in the jaw. So I got that covered. All right, bring that back. Good. So punching the body. I sit in here, and I drive straight across the body this way. Sit in, so I'm going to turn forward. This is the turn forward part. Boom, straight into the body. Turn forward. Boom. Always return to my guard stance. Okay, one more time to the head, to the body. One more time in combination. Right hand, left hand. To the body, right hand, left hand. Now we're ready to introduce the left jab. So far I taught the straight right and the straight left, but it's also we can introduce the left jab. The reason I teach you how to do the straight left first is because you get a lot of power. There's a lot of timing between your body parts. You want to get that body moving into that left hand. Learn to hit hard with that left hand. It's close to your opponent. You want to have a strong left hand. But sometimes you're going to need speed more than power, and that's what your left jab is for. The left jab is going to start right from here and extend straight out and then come right back. So you're not really exposing yourself very much. It's guarding my face. As I punch out, I'm punching jaw level. I'm punching to his jaw. My arm is kind of blocking from being hit. My shoulder is helping that way too. My right hand is held close to my face to protect against other punches. And then I return to my natural guard. So I punch and I come back. I punch and I come back. Now there's a little bit of body turn and it's very subtle. And that's another reason why we have you do the straight left first, because then you're used to a little bit of how that body gets involved. So right from here, it's a little bit of a turn with the body as I jet my hand out and I return. So you can see I turn my heels a little bit, I turn my hip into the shot. Jab, jab, jab. Now with all these punches, you're going to have to do them in place, just like if your opponent's going to walk into your punch. So I'm staying here, he walks into it, jab. I may have to go looking for my opponent, so I may have to step out with my jab, step out with my jab. I may have to step back with my jab. I go back to footwork and control the distance. Now let's look at that same jab from the side. So I'm facing sideways here, my left hand's up, so I can see my hand stays level. I'm always occupying this line. Now I want to generate as much power as possible, so I want to make sure I drop that thumb over, boom, and I get my hips into it a little bit. So very mildly, very subtly, I want those hips to turn into the shot. Snap your jab right back to the chin. I can do the same jab to the body. It doesn't have as much power, but I can sit straight down and jab to the body as well. Sit straight down and jab. It's a good surprise element. It doesn't always hit really hard, but it's a good surprise element, something that the opponent cannot ignore. So I sit down and I jab. And from the side, the same punch. Sit down and jab the body. Sit down and jab the body. There's an old boxing axiom, lead with speed, follow with power. This is your speed shot. There's not very much notice. I'm not turning in and giving away the shot. I'm not telling my opponent what I'm going to do. I'm just jetting that left hand out in front of me. Try to use a little bit of element of surprise on that. We're going to take a look at variations of the jab. So we're going to start here like this. Our one jab goes straight in, and we can vary it by going low or going high. But I can try to slip it in on different angles. One way is to kind of fade off to your left. So you lean over to your left, an angle of a punch in this way. The reason why this is effective is you think the way I defend myself with my left hand, my opponent's defending the same way. So there's his left hand. So by leaning over to the side, I'm clearing a new path to his chin. And I'm jetting the punch up that way. So when I do that, let's look at the footwork a little bit more in detail. I'm going to step over to my left. I'm going to get my head over to that line also. So I'm going to move the head over. It's a little bit of a lean. So I'm sacrificing balance to a small amount to get over here. And then I'm going to punch down that line. So I lean over and then jab. Now as soon as my right foot swings around, I want to be in a good stance, ready to drive in straight on that line. So I'm attacking down here towards 12 o'clock. When I move the head over, I'm punching towards 130, and I want to be lined up this way. I want to be able to continue my attack down that line. So once I find a new line, I want to adjust my body accordingly. And that goes back to some of the footwork we did when we were circling around that cone. So if you have that good footwork, you should be able to do this correctly also. Now there's a third angle too. I can slip into this side. So I can move my head to here and jab back up. So I can move my head off the line of attack here and slip my jab up here. So I'm moving my head over and jabbing like that. So here's the three angles of the jab. We got straight in, move the head and hit from this angle, and then lean forward and hit from that angle. So look at my head. Watch my head right here. So straight down the line, straight down the line. I'm trying to keep very guarded. Now watch me move my head to the side of that line and move over here and jab. Watch that again. So if my head was here on the one jab, and now I move my head over suddenly. Boom. It's got to be a sudden movement if you're going to catch that guy. So lean, step, swing. Now I can move the head to the other line. So I move my head over here. So the punch is coming towards my head, and I'm moving over like that. Even if he's not punching, I can anticipate that he would be punching, move my head to that area I feel is safe, and angle the jab back up there. So I move my head here and jab back up. So one more time, we'll do the three angles of the jab in order. Straight, fade off to the left, and sit to the right. Straight jab, fade off to the left, and sit to the right. Let's take a look at these three variations of the jab, again with a partner, Shane. So here's the straight jab. Now I can try to go inside of his guard. Now if he's guarding really well here, I'm going to keep running into the hand. So what I need to do is fade off to the left, find a new line to attack, boom, and there's my new jab. Excuse me. Let's try it again. So I can even kind of pattern my opponent, get him rewarded to keep his hand right here, defend it. And then I move off and I hit this line. Now I can also assume that he's going to be punching at me and move my head off the line and punch back up into his jaw this way. So that's another line to move. So I go here and jab up. Now whether he jabs or not, I'm in a safe position. I can still angle that jab up here. Also that sudden movement may throw my opponent off, buy me a little bit of time. Let's look at it from a different angle, a different side here. Okay, so here's the straight jab. Basically when I'm doing the straight jab, I'm hoping at some point his left hand's going to be a little low. Hold that left hand low. And I'm going to come straight in over top of it like this. And I want to attack that line with my straight jab. he's going to pick that up and start covering pretty well. As soon as he covers that, I'm going to have to find a new line to attack. So I'm going to step over, and see how I get my head lined up here with this new opening? Boom, and then jab. Now look how I'm set. I'm ready to come in again here. So after I find that new line and jab, I got to be in a stable position. Head over, right? Bop, and then I'm ready to come in again. Boom, and then I'm ready to come in. And the third angle of the jab is to get off this side and angle back up a little bit. So I'm going to move the head over to here and then jab. Now as I look at my hands are here, okay, my right hand's up on my jaw. When I move my head, I'm kind of moving my head behind my hands. My hands are staying pretty much where they were. I'm just moving my head over here where it's a little safer, and I'm angling my jab back up. Okay, so again, one jab, the second angle, fade off to the left. Okay, and then moving our head to the right. Now we're going to talk about the left hook. So find your stance, hands up here. Watch how I execute the left hook. A lot of times it's associated with the right hand. So we'll go like we did when we did the straight left. We'll throw the right hand first. So here comes the right hand, and from here I'm going to follow with the left hook. And I'm going to turn my body. Watch how I do it a little slower. So it goes right hand. Now go ahead and bring the right hand back to your guard, and we'll be in this twisted position. I like to have you do that right hand because I want to explain how you ended up in this position. Right hand here, now it's recovering your face. Now we're getting ready to do the left hook. I'm going to twist my body and raise up on my heel. See my left heel up? My right heel goes down. In fact, I catch a lot of the weight on my back leg. Look at my left elbow. My left elbow has to be up here. That's why I said again. Now, think about the target I'm hitting. I'm going to be hitting right about here, so think about where my hand is when I take it away. That's where I'm targeting my left hook. This is why I have to come in order to get some space between my shoulder and my hip and the target, which is back here. Now watch as I turn into it. I have to have that elbow up in time. I have to make sure that I'm coming in very perpendicular. As far as how I hold the hand, I like to have you hold the hand palm in, just like you're making a muscle with your hand, but you're holding it this way, palm in, nice and tight, and you keep your arm at least a right angle, if not a little tighter. That's how I want you to hold the hand. There's a lot of different ways to throw the left hook. Some people will teach you to turn the hand down. Some people have you have it in like this. I prefer it this way. This is a hook. What I call this move is more of a left cross. You're kind of hooking around the punch, but this is going to be what I call a hook, and this is just how I learned it. So I want you to learn the same way. Right hand, left hook. Right hand, left hook. Now watch how I do that from this angle. Right hand, left hook. Right hand, left hook. Now try to notice that there's a shift in the weight. I'm coming from the forward leg to the back leg while I turn. So I'm shifting my weight and I'm turning. Right hand, left hook. Now I want to go over one more time doing it with just the left hook, no right hand. So I'm going to turn in, left hook, turn in, left hook. And from the side, watch how I do that. Turn in, left hook, turn in, left hook. You're very close to the opponent when you're doing your left hook, but it's a very powerful punch because you're using your entire body mass to execute the punch. Unlike a jab or a right hand, you're not extending your arms. So there's no muscle energy expended in your arm to do the punch. You're holding your hand up here tight and you're swinging your body to get that power. You're swinging that shoulder, you're swinging your hips, you're swinging your rear end into the shot. It's picked up in the heels. Watch how those heels turn. Now a lot of times I'm going to be hitting the guy in the head, so I'm going to be coming across the head this way. It's a very powerful shot. Common mistakes to do on the hook is to bring your arm across like this and then punch. Two problems with this, two major problems with this. One is you're going to lack some power, some true power, and two, you're going to expose yourself. So watch my guard. Here I am defending with my left hand. If I pull my left hand away to do the left hook, I'm going to be exposed for that moment. See right there? I'm exposed for the right hand. So I don't want to do that. I want to keep my left hand up guarding me. If I need to throw my left hook, I'm going to have to come in to this angle. How I get there is going to be a lot of different variations. Right now I'm just going to come in and block with this hand. I'm going to come in and block here, boom, execute the left hook. Watch how I do that again from the side. I turn in. Look how my body turns. Here, and I turn my whole body. I pull on this right hand. I pull on my body. And I turn. Now, as I start speeding up, watch how I use my breath to help generate some power, too. I focus that breath right at the moment of impact. Now, you can also do the left hook to the body. In fact, when we're talking about tactics later, I'm going to have you hit the body before you hit the head. I'm going to have you go to the body, try to hurt the guy's body. So you're going to do the 1-2 or the right hand. You're going to come in here, in this position, and hook down to the body. You have to sit straight down in your stance. So you come forward, you sit straight down, get down low on your knees, and turn your body into your left hook. Hit that opponent in his body. So I turn in, hook. There you go. Watch from this angle. I'm going to turn in, right? I sit down, I'm already low, hook. Look how I get that elbow up on the hook. Later on, we're going to mix it up between the body and the head with the left hook. We're going to come in there, body, head. We'll talk a little bit more about that in detail later, but you're going to be going to the body as well as the head. One from the side. Let's take a look at the left hook performed against an opponent. So Shane, if you get in your stance. Okay. So I have to get to this position here in order to execute that left hook. And we talked about you have a couple ways to get there. You could have been throwing the right hand. You could have been slipping a shot. You could have been blocking a shot. However, here we are. Left hook right here. Now I'm going to twist that way in the left hook. See how tight this left hook is? When I practice it here, I'm really too far away to do it. I want to show you have plenty of space for the camera to pick up, but when I'm really fighting somebody, here's where I'm going to be. It's a very hard punch to see. I'm that tight. Boom. And I'm going to be clipping the jaw right here. It's a very tight hook. So to me, a hook comes on the inside of his guard. Here's his guard. I'm trying to catch him right in the inside of that guard right there. This is part of inside fighting, hit inside that guard like that. It's very tough. Sometimes I'll go to the body. Boom. If I hit the body here, that's inside the guard too. Sometimes I'm going to come a little wider. Sometimes that's when I turn my hand over. And some people like to throw that more commonly than to throw it tight. But I want to teach you the very classic left hook. Do it in tight, palm facing this way. There's a lot of variations. This is one I want you to perfect. There's a little bit more to it than just turning and hooking. First of all, I had to get inside like this. It's very common when we're fighting both opponents to kind of push forward. So he's putting pressure on me, I'm putting pressure on him. All of a sudden, we're this close. So instead of stepping in or even doing it in place, the left hook, a lot of times I have to step back with my left hook. I'm going to be this close. He's going to be putting pressure on me. Put pressure. He's almost going to fall forward as I step back. I step back, boom, and I clip him with the left hook right here. So watch that again. Watch the footwork. Now, remember when we did footwork in the beginning, we always talk about if you go in the forward position, you go forward foot first. If you go back, you move the back foot first. I'm going back. I'm opening up the distance. I'm stepping back here, and watch the left foot move into the left hook. Now, it's going to do two things. It's going to move, and it's going to turn. Watch that again. So I'm going to come back into here, right? I'm using this right arm to check. See, so I'm guarding with that right hand, but I'm also checking his body movement a little bit. I step back with the right foot. I'm still checking here. Now watch the left foot turn into the hook. Watch it move and watch it turn. Now I'm going to catch his hand right here. This is why I don't really hit his chin. Shows you I even have to be closer than what's shown here. But just for safety's sake, I want to hit his hand. So I'm coming in like this, use my right hand for a check. Look at my feet, they're pointed forward. Just like when I was doing my right hand, they're pointed forward. Now watch the footwork. I step back, and watch me draw the left foot into the hook. So I'm turning, so I step back. Now watch, my weight's still on the front leg. My weight's on the left leg. More of it than on my right leg. But when I end up on the end of this hook, the weight's going to be on the back leg. So I have to shift my weight back with the hook. So I have a lot of things moving. I have my foot moving, my body moving, and I have my weight shifting. And most importantly, I'm twisting. I'm twisting on that left hook. That's where the majority of my power comes from. Shifting my body weight around, that helps make me stable. It's very important to have a stable position when you're punching. It's very important to be stable when you're twisting. But a lot of that power comes from twisting. Sometimes you're going to be doing the left hook. Sometimes you're not going to be able to shift back. You're not going to be able to draw your weight back into it. You're just going to have to turn right where you are. This is very common, particularly in amateur boxing, where it's about speed a lot. So you get a very small amount of turn. What I want people to understand, there's a critical order to the way you move. You want to start in your body, get those hips moving, and then you want to punch with your arm, your body. When I'm punching like this, see, I'm moving that body. I step, I turn, I drag my foot, all before I hit that left hand. Step, turn, drag, pop, and then I do that left hook like that. But sometimes speed is going to be more of the essence. I'm not going to have all that time to generate the power. In those situations, boom, you just got to be quick. Boom. If I don't get on my weight going all the way back, that's okay. I can do sort of a miniature version of the left hook. It's more important to get the job done than to always look pretty. Let's go over the left hook to the body. This is a very important punch. There's an old saying in boxing, if you kill the body, the head will die. So you want to punish the body as much as you can, try to slow your opponent down. It also has the benefit of exposing the guy, if he goes down to defend it, exposing him up top here like this. So you want to build a pattern in the beginning of a fight that you're going to be attacking the body. So you come in here 1, 2, and you want to hit to the body very strong. Right? And if you hit that arm, that's fine. That's why he carries that arm there, is to block against that left hook. And that's okay, because I want to reward him to keep that left hook down. If his hand is high and I hit his body, that's great. That's what I want. But if his arm is there defending like it should be, punch him right into the arm. When I punch him in the arm like that, he's going to feel my power. That left hook is one of your most powerful shots. When you turn your body into that left hook, you're getting a lot of weight. You have to work it. You have to work it and learn really well that left hook, but that's going to carry a lot of power. So I want to hit him with that left hook, and I want him to keep that hand in there like that. Every time he sees me in this position, he's going to flinch. He's going to feel my power, and he's going to flinch. When I get that, that's when I want to double the hook up to the head. So I'm working that body, showing a lot of discipline, coming in there, hitting the body, sitting out, being very safe. Coming in there, hook to the body, sit it out. Once I can pattern my opponent, I can see he's going to stay down there, I'm going to bring that hook up to the head. So I'm coming here, turn into the left hook, turn forward again, do a second hook that's going to go to the head. So watch how I do that. I come in here, I use my body on both. Watch me do it a little bit faster. I got to twist my body in both directions. I turn forward, I twist, I come back, I twist a second time. See, I got 2 complete twists. I came forward, look, I'm forward. I turned to the hook. I came forward again. I did the second hook. Back to my fighting stance, and then I exit. When I exit, I like to sit out in case he's punching at me. So 1, 2, get myself in there. 1, 2, hook to the body, hook to the head, sit out. 1, 2, hook to the body, hook to the head, sit out. We're going to continue with the basic boxing punches with the right hook. So you're going to start up here like this. Now, there's a couple good things about the right hook and some difficult things about the right hook. One, you're already in position to throw it. Your right shoulder is already back. You don't have to go through any extra movement of pulling your shoulder back. You just want to turn your body and hit it around the side like this. Again, this has to be a very, very close-in shot. So you maybe are sitting there putting pressure on your opponent. It's trying to sit in underneath their guard. Once you're there, you're going to twist in and hit with your right hand. The right hand is going to be going to the kidneys. They'll be blocking with their left hand like I am. You're trying to get low and hit him here. If you can get your opponent worried about guarding high all the time by using that left jab, keep their hand up, come in low, hit it with the right hook. Hit them right into the kidney. Boom. You got to be able to step in. You got to be able to step in and be in a strong position and throw that right hook. Now, there's some variations on this right hook. Some people actually turn the hand out a little bit. But on that hook, as well as just doing a hook like this, the one problem is that you're a little bit exposed. When you turn in, it's a long time that your body is exposed to your opponent. And if he's got a sharp left, he's going to pick you off. If he has a real sharp right, you're going to walk into that right hand. So that right hook, you have to time pretty carefully. You don't want to just throw in there, throw the right hook. You generally want to keep that right hand straight. So that straight right, like I showed you in the beginning. Later on, if you wear your opponent down, you want to do some damage, you twist in there with that right hook. A good way to follow up that right hook is that left hook. So you go right hook, left hook. Again, the kidney is the area you're trying to focus on. You're trying to hit right behind that elbow and hook to the body. Now, occasionally, you can also hook to the head. So sometimes you can hook up like this. This is effective sometimes against a southpaw or a very slow fighter, or if you try and change up and do something that your opponent doesn't expect. But generally, he doesn't expect this because it's a pretty slow, dangerous shot to throw. Generally, as far as hooks go, you're going to throw a lot more of the left hook than you are of the right hook. Or you're going to throw more hooks off the lead side than you are off the back side. Now we're going to take a look at the right hook from the side. The right hook is one of your best shots, it's one of your most powerful shots. It's very difficult to land, and you expose yourself quite a bit, so it's dangerous to throw it. But if you can land your right hook, it's very powerful. So let's take a look at how you get your body into the punch, how you twist into the punch, and everything that goes in to make it a very strong shot. So here we are. Now generally you're going to have to be close in the distance. Because the right hook is very close, like this, you're probably going to have to step into your opponent. So you're going to have to get in close like this and put pressure. Now this will keep it nice and tight, and you're going to turn into that hook. When you turn in, you want to get a full rotation, so your feet should be facing forward. You want to breathe hard like that, tense your diaphragm up, and really focus everything in your body as you make contact. So I'm going to come in here. Now, so there's a couple things going on. One, you're getting all that rotation. Two, you're getting that sliding forward of your feet, so you're moving your weight in that direction. And you're also shifting your weight off your back leg. You're kind of pushing off that back leg to get that power. So you step in here. Try to bring everything to a close together. So you want to finish shifting, finish turning, finish punching, finish breathing all at the same moment. Now you can take this shot to the head. You can double it up like we doubled the left hook. Let's take a look at how to apply the right hook to our opponent. So we're going to try to get that hand up. So we're going to use that jab to get his hand up here. Make sure he's keeping that hand high. Come in here and hit right into the kidney. So you can hit a lot of areas, but this is one of the main areas to come right here like this. But you can see while you watch it that my head is really exposed. If he's predicting that I'm going to do that, he could bring the right uppercut into me, or the straight right, or even the left hand. So there's a lot of risk involved with throwing the right hook. But the payoff is probably your hardest shot. If you can hit the guy hard in the body, you can take him right out. Now sometimes you'll even go up to the head. Go up to the head. It's not very common, and I'm even more exposed when I do that. Sometimes when you're fighting a southpaw, put your left foot back. That might be a time when the right hook to the head is a little bit more appropriate. It's a little bit harder for him to defend off of. I can still right hook down to the body here, hit more to the middle of his body. So I have the right hook on a southpaw or an orthodox fighter. Come back here. Generally, I'm going to favor the body. Okay, now we're going to talk about the right uppercut. The right uppercut is also a very strong shot. Now, a lot of these punches I'm showing to you is not the order that you apply them against an opponent. A right uppercut, a right hook, these are all difficult shots to hit the person with before we get hit. So I'm just showing this to you because I want you to understand the right uppercut. When we go to talk about the left uppercut, it'll make a little bit more sense. Now here's the right uppercut. You want to keep the weight on the back leg. You want to sit on the back leg while you throw it, and you want to bring the punch up. As much as you can, you want to bring it up from your chin. So you want to get the chin down with the shot, right? Come down here, sit on this right leg. You can see I'm really into my knee, and uppercut. Now, the difficult thing about this uppercut is I'm not getting very close to you as I throw it. I'm staying back here. It's almost good as a defensive move because it doesn't come forward very much. I'm not covering distance. I'm balancing on the right leg. In the right hook and on the right hand, we shifted forward. We don't do that on the uppercut. On the uppercut, you stay on the back leg. So here you go. You're going to come down like this, drop your shoulder a little bit, get that punch down underneath the target, and come up underneath. I want you to come straight up the middle. I want that palm facing your bicep. I want the weight on this leg. Now, even though the weight's on this leg and you're in your knee, you're still going to drive up off the heel, and you're going to twist this foot. So it's kind of difficult. Your weight's on this leg. At the same time, I got to turn it. It's going to have a lot of power. Watch that movement from the side. You can see what I'm talking about, the weight. Let me show you a couple mistakes people make. They come forward with that right uppercut. See what happens there? I have to drop my hand for one in order to get up underneath. Because by shifting my weight to the front leg, it's going to level my shoulders back out. When I throw in that right uppercut, I got to get the right shoulder tilted down a little bit. That's going to help me guard with my left hand too. There's a lot of benefits to sitting like this on an opponent. Now watch how I throw that right uppercut. But look how short it is. Here's my jab. Look at my right uppercut landing right here, right in front of my face. So sometimes if I catch my opponent coming in, that's good. If I want to go in my opponent, boom, I'm going to have to step with it. I'm going to have to step in with that shot. Keep the weight here. So whether you're going to the head or the body, now a lot of times you're going to the body, sit down extra low. It's going to be a good workout for your legs. Sit down that knee. A lot of people think about boxing as working specifically the upper body. Of course it is. But a lot of this comes from having very strong legs. Now, particularly on the uppercut, you're going to have to develop a very strong leg in order to support your weight. So watch how I get down on that leg. I'm way down on it. My weight's shifted. My hips are not over this leg. They're not in the middle. They're pushed back over my right leg. Now, when I say back, I'm talking towards the back side. I don't want you to lean towards your back. Don't lean this way. That's going to be off balance. When I say back, I'm saying back away from your opponent. You're shifting your weight to the back side. Let me show you, let me demonstrate for you the right uppercut against Shane. Real quickly, let me say that any punch you work a lot is going to be your most powerful punch, but there's a lot of inherent power in the right uppercut. So if you're looking for a shot that's going to like stop the fight, take your opponent out of it, the right uppercut can do the job. Now, I'm sitting down low, I'm getting down low, and I want to get down really low in order to hit that body up underneath. There's a lot of places I can direct that uppercut. I can come on the inside of his guard. But see, my weight is back. Here. Now, sometimes I can get around, maybe go to the kidney here, so sometimes I end up going to this side of his guard like this. But we're just going to show you here, coming right up the middle. Keep the weight back. Now, I can go to the head. When I go to the head, I don't have to come quite as low with my body. I can take my hand up a little bit quicker to the head. Sometimes you throw the uppercut without the weight of the body, just to lift the head up. You lift his head up, and then you come across. You lift his head up with the uppercut, and you come across. So you don't always have to hit the head that hard with the uppercut. Your power uppercut is the one you're directing to the body. You're sitting down. Look at my leverage. I refer to this as your leverage. You want to put this out like this and get that into your shot. To me, this is very similar to the way you would take a shovel full of dirt. This punch used to be referred to as the shovel punch. It looks like you're shoveling. And as you learn from shoveling, you don't want to put the weight on the front leg. You want to keep the weight on the back leg. Let me show you the uppercut to the body. So a lot of punches that look similar to the uppercut. To me, the uppercut comes up the middle. Up the middle. That means inside his guard. So here's his guard here. My right uppercut comes on the inside. If I come to the outside of his guard like this, even though my palm's facing up somewhat, to me that's more of a hook. The uppercut comes on the inside. When we do the left uppercut in a moment, that's going to come up the middle also. So that's inside the guard, right uppercut. There are times when you're going to angle that right uppercut underneath the jab. So the person jabs at you, you're going to angle that right uppercut into the jaw this way. So it's still up the middle. So whether I'm going to the body, boom, or sometimes I go for the jab, I'm going to go to the head like this, still up the middle, palm facing in like that, making a muscle. Now let's introduce the left uppercut. This is a much more common punch, and you really want to perfect this punch. So here we are up in our guard like this, knees bent, off the back heel. Now, you can leave this off a lot of movements. We're just going to do the left uppercut by itself. And how we're going to get there is we're going to lean over and bring the right hand around as our guard. I'm also going to have to lean my shoulder down. See, I'm leaning my left shoulder down. I'm trying to keep my left hand on my guard, my left hand here in my guard position. From here, left uppercut. And then I come back to my guard position here. So, in order. I'm going to step in, get my right hand up like this, left uppercut, and sit out. Kind of come back to a natural guard position this way. Watch me a couple more times. I'm going to come in like this. Look at my right hand shielding me this way. My body's turned in, and I'm ready to get my hips behind the shot. Uppercut. Now, the couple mistakes that people make when they do their left uppercut is this. They come in, okay, they do their left uppercut, but they shift their weight back. You don't want to shift your weight back. You want to keep your weight on the front leg. So you want to come back on the left leg like this. See how I can keep my hand closer to my guard? Watch that again. So I lean in. That's going to help me get the weight on the front leg. I leave it there. Left uppercut. Okay, a little quicker. Now, even though your weight's on your left leg, try to get that hit. Come up off the heel and dig, drive. Okay, now let's watch that from the side. So facing this way. Let's watch from the other side. Focus on my hips. Watch how I get my hips into the shot. Here's a left uppercut against an opponent and the different targets we can go after. So I'm going to come in here, uppercut right in the middle. Come in, guard with the right hand, come right up the middle that way. Keep your weight on the left leg. Try to get that hip into your shot. All the way turned up. Careful not to pull out. Don't come out this way. You want to stay sat. You can hit to the middle of the body. Sometimes your opponent's going to be turned forward a little bit. You can go after the corner right here. Come in right behind the elbow. That's a very good shot. Come in here. Of course, we can take that same punch to the jaw. So we can slip on the inside here. Left uppercut. Let's talk about the overhand right. This is a very powerful punch. Again, punches that are very powerful like this tend to be very well telegraphed. So you don't want to walk, be throwing a sloppy punch and walk into something. But let's go over how you throw the overhand right. When I do the overhand right, I'm going to move my body over like I'm doing a left uppercut. If you remember the left uppercut, I was coming in here and digging with my left hand. I'm going to move my head over to that side, come over top with the right hand. I'm going to turn my body very similar to the straight right. I'm going to move over and come over top like that. Watch my hand sort of float. So while I move over, my hand kind of stays on that line. It's already lined up with the target. Here's the target out here. It's already lined up. So I want to leave it there as I move my body. Step over and then bring the right hand down. So move over and then the right hand down. It's very important to set this punch up. You don't want to just walk in there and throw that on somebody. You may want to get them patterned to the left uppercut. Once they're used to seeing your head come over the left uppercut, then you can come over safely and execute the right hand, the overhand right. Now, when you apply this overhand right, you're not coming inside his guard. Your straight right is for that. So if his left hand's up, you're coming on the inside with the straight right. The overhand right is to cross his guard, so you're coming across his hand. Instead of hitting the guy on the button or in the chin like we did on the straight right, we're coming here. We're hitting more on the jaw. I'm going to hit him on the jaw this way, turn his head. So the overhand right, it's coming more towards the side of the head. Okay, the overhand right. Watch me lead the head. I'm leading the head over here. I could have done a left uppercut just as easily, but I choose instead to come across with the right hand. So I'm coming across and hit him in the jaw right here. Now, I don't want the hand to come out wider. I don't want to pick up the movement by bringing my hand out to the side. I want my hand to float right here while I move my hand over to the left. So my head is moving to the left. My hand is staying lined up with his head. Boom. It's a very sneaky shot. If you can get your opponent to follow your head, especially if your head's coming over you for that left uppercut, he may not pick up that right hand coming in over top. So this is your overhand right. Let's look at the straight left against the pads. Now let's take a look at the left jab. Let's take a look at the right hand against the pads. Notice my footwork, my guard, the fact that I turn my body into the punch. Okay, let's take a look at the left hook. Let's take a look at the right hook to the body. Now we're going to take a look at the right uppercut. Notice where my weight is. It's on the back leg for this punch. Now we're going to take a look at the left uppercut. The weight's going to be on the left leg. Let's take a look at the overhand right. Now we want to move the workout over here to the heavy bag. We're going to take the basics we showed you, the fundamentals of boxing, and learn how to apply them on the heavy bag. That'll prepare us to apply these same punches eventually against an opponent. We're going to work on our defense, on our posture, on our footwork, and how we would normally just treat an opponent. We don't want to sit there and think too much. We want to just keep moving, get a little bit of a workout here. In fact, when we're working on the bag, I want you to schedule yourself for 2 minutes to 3 minutes at a time. I would start for 2 minutes, give yourself a minute rest, and then work for 2 minutes again. The first punch we're going to look at is the left jab. This is what you're going to use initially against an opponent. Start comfortably outside the range of the bag. So if the bag had arms, it wouldn't be able to hit you. So you're out here like this. So I'm going to have to step in order to hit it. And the first punch I'm going to use is the left jab. Jab, and then I come right back like that. Now the bag's going to swing around a little bit. What I want to do is I want to wait till the bag starts to swing back towards me. So right about there. And that's what I'm going to do. So it's going to move around a little bit. When it hits the top of the swing away from me, that's when I'm going to start to move. So work that jab, move around, change your angle subtly, and then do the jab again. You can work different heights of that jab. After you've worked the left hand for a while, start practicing the right hand. Get comfortable with the right hand. Now that I found the range that my right hand is comfortable, I want to work it behind the left jab. So I'm going to go back and work the left jab. And I want to put the right hand behind the left jab. I'm going to the same target, same place in the bag. After I work the 1-2, I want to work the 1-2-1. The 1 is the jab, the 2 is the right, and I want to come back with the left hand. I want to keep myself covered with that left hand, and doing that jab a second time helps get that cover up in front of me. 1-2-1. Look at the footwork with this because it's kind of tricky. It's the left hand to the left foot, and the right hand come together, and then I got to step a second time. Left, right, left. And move around. Left, right, left. Move back, get out of range. Circle the bag. 1-2-1. 1-2-1. After we do those punches for a while, I want to get a little bit closer to the bag, start working some of my other punches. The 1-2, it's a pretty far extended punch, and the opponent's going to be fairly far away from me. There's times I'm going to end up very close to my opponent, and I'm going to have to do my uppercuts and my hooks. Now, when you're doing the left hook, because you're so close, it's better to start extra close to the bag and actually move back to give yourself the room. So after I finish the left hook, I'm going to move back in, put pressure with my right side against the bag. Now I'm going to open the distance up by stepping back and do the left hook. Now the hook comes from the side. Maybe we should look at this angle a little bit. It comes from the side, but I'm just clipping the bag. So I don't have to hit all the way on the outside of the bag. That'll cause a bad habit of pulling my hand away from my chin. I don't want to do that. So I want to design the left hook so it comes from my chin, from my guard, and that's going to make it land just kind of on the corner of the bag, just in the corner right there. Now we'll go back to the 1-2 that we worked. The 1-2 is going to bring you in close to the bag. After the 1-2, that'll set me up for the left hook. 1-2, left hook. And then sit out. Don't stand in front of the bag and watch your work. You want to keep working until the bell rings. 1-2, hook, sit out. 1-2, hook, sit out. 1-2, hook, sit out. Now once you've worked this until you feel comfortable, you can start to try some other punches, namely right uppercut. Now the bag's not perfectly suited for the uppercut because it's very level this way. It's very straight up and down. But I can make it bite in a little bit. So don't be concerned if you get a really solid uppercut. Just throw it to get comfortable with it. Now one of the punches that the right uppercut goes along with very well is the left hook. So if I do the right uppercut like this, I want to come back to the left hook. So right uppercut, left hook. I don't want to just walk in there and throw the right uppercut a lot of times because it's going to leave me very open. So I may lead this whole thing off with a jab. So this time I'm going to go jab, right uppercut, and finish with the left hook. Jab, uppercut, hook. Jab, uppercut, hook. Jab, uppercut, hook. One of the exercises that I want to perform in the bag is I want to double up some of my punches. So in the beginning, I want to double up the jab. So instead of just jabbing once and coming out, I want to jab twice. I use that double jab to set up that right hand. That gives you another combination of work. This is a very good combination. This may be one of the best boxing combinations I can show you. Double jab, right hand. A couple other punches that work together well is that right hand, left uppercut. So right hand, now we can bring this one over top a little bit. So let's call this an overhand right. Overhand right, left uppercut. Overhand right, left uppercut. Now I'm going to do right, overhand right, left uppercut, overhand right. Always careful to sit out. I don't want to just stand there. Try to bring you back to the fundamentals all the time. Start with the jab, start from outside the range, and jab. Work that jab. Now, I also want you to work your double jab. Double jab. I want you to do 3 jabs. 1, 2, 3. Now, you may have to adjust your distance accordingly. So I can't always go in because the bag's there. I have to kind of work around it. Move around the bag. Try to get comfortable. Just move around, especially as you get winded. Just let yourself recover as you move around the bag. Go back to the 1, 2, 1, 2. Double jab right. You can see I stay in constant movement, not staying still in front of the bag. Double jab right. Now I'm going to work into the 1, 2 and the hook to the body. 1, 2, hook to the body. Now I'm going to double up that left hook. So it's going to be 1, 2, left hook to the body, left hook to the head. Now by the same token, you double up that left hand, you can double up your right hand. So hold your left hand up as a shield, sort of reassert the fact that you're blocking here with your left hand. Punch to the body, come back to here a second time, and punch to the head. So you're going to go body head with the right hand. 1, 2. Now you can see I'm staying very fundamental. I haven't brought any uppercuts or even overhands into the action yet. I'm working that jab. Keep going back to the jab. Double jab. 3 jabs. Double jab right. 1, 2 hook to the body. 1, 2 hook to the body. 1, 2 double hook. Double right. As you start to get serious with your training, get a partner to hold the bag. Keep the bag there, you do a lot more work. You don't have to chase it around as much. Now go back to what we did, work that jab. Now, if the bag's not moving, that means you have to move, because I don't want you to stand in front of the bag. If you jab, no standing right here. You have to jab and move. Now, I haven't taught a lot of this yet, but you'll pick it up just by watching. So I jab, and I'm going to change my height as I exit. Jab and sit out. Jab and sit out. Jab and sit out. Double jab. Sit out. That's it. Don't want to get caught standing there in front of your opponent. Work the 1, 2. The double jab right. 1-2 hook to the body. One, two, double hook. Now so far I showed you how to break the distance down. We start with the long range movements, and then we get in there with a tight left hook. A lot of times it's going to be the opposite. Your opponent's going to walk in on you, push you against the ropes. You're going to have to fight out. So from this position, I want you to do what I call the mix. You're just going to go right uppercut, left uppercut. Now remember, that's a little bit different on your uppercuts. You want the weight down on the right leg when you come up underneath. Come right up the middle. Now you got to bring the left shoulder down. So you just kind of lean. It's like a little tick-tock action. Right uppercut, come over to here, left uppercut, come back, right uppercut, one more time, left uppercut. So we'll start with the 4 uppercuts. So you're going to start in here, just sit in, however you get there, right, left, left. Sit down, get that leverage sticking out. Now as I exit, I want to go right, left, and throw 4 straight long-range punches right down the center. That'll keep my opponent from attacking me down the center. So I'm in close already. I'm going to fight my way back out to a long range. Uppercut, step back, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a good workout too. It's 8 punches, 8 hard punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to continue on with some more punches you can do against the bag. So far, I've been letting you throw a lot of right hands, and that's natural. You want to get in there, you want to feel yourself punch hard. But when you're punching with the right hand, you're very exposed to your opponent. So all these targets like your solar plexus and your neck and even your groin in a street fight are facing your opponent. So you want to stay more to this side. And the same is true in boxing. So when you're boxing, you stay with your left shoulder in. There's a big advantage here with your left shoulder in. I got a much longer reach. I get the whole distance of my chest to my shoulder added into my reach. If I square up like this here with my right hand, see, it doesn't reach as far. So I like to keep the guy out here at the reach of my left hand, work off that hand. So we want to do some combinations purely with the left hand. What we're going to do is we're going to go jab, get our weight self in like this, left uppercut. So we're going to go jab, uppercut. Now I'm taking a full step. So I'm going left foot and then right foot. So if you remember from the beginning what a full step is, I'm taking a full step in. Now as I bring that second part of my step up, see this is the second part? Watch how I turn my foot forward. And that's going to set me up for that left uppercut. So I'm not really wasting any time. Same amount of time it took to do the regular jab. And I'm right here. Uppercut. Jab, uppercut. Now here, after that uppercut, the opponent may be open for the right hand, and at some point you're going to do that. But I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to do a left hook after the left uppercut. So I'm going to really work that left hand. Jab, uppercut, hook. Now, this is a dangerous position to stand. I don't want to just stand here. I want to get out. But even as I get out, I'm open. So I'm going to cover myself with another jab. It's going to be 4 left punches in a row. Left jab, left uppercut, left hook, left jab again. So slowly, and watch the footwork and how the punches time together. All right. Then come in with the 1-2. So really pepper your opponent, get him used to that left hand. Here's some more drills you can do on the heavy bag. One of the things you want to do or want to use the heavy bag for is to train yourself to behave a certain way. You want to train yourself to respond quickly. It's not just about reaction time. Your reaction time is sort of God-given, how fast you're going to react. But you can shorten how long it takes you to respond to something. So we're going to do a couple of drills here, teach us how to hit the guy, defend, and respond really quickly. Capitalize on him, punching at us. So we're going to bounce in, jab, and bounce out, and bounce in again. So we're going to bounce in, jab, bounce out, and bounce in a second time. And we're trying to follow his counter punch back in. So I punch, I draw his counter, whether it's a left or right. I move back and make a miss. And then I try to take advantage of where he may be open. Look at my stance as I back up. It's very important I don't put my heels down. When I back out, I have to be ready to come back in. I have to plan in my mind that I'm going to be coming right back in on the bag. So I'm going to build a little drill, and I'm going to work just the left jab. The next bag drill is very similar. So before I was bouncing in and out with the jab, and the jab was acting as my offense, but also my counter. So it was same punch, but I was using it in two different areas. Now what I'm going to do is bounce in jab, return with the right hand. So one, and counter with the right. Okay. Now I changed that, but let's just go with that anyway. Jab, come out, 1, 2. So 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. I want to work stepping around the bag with the left hook. So far we've been going in and out, and that's very good. You need to get in, you need to get out. But also sometimes you're going to be in tight and you want to be able to walk around the opponent. So I'm going to walk around to the right throwing the left hook. And just try to watch the footwork because it's very complicated. So left hook, see how I step around, left hook. This actually helps with my power. See how I set the feet up, point towards the bag. Right, I move the left foot with the hook. That's what I want to have. So when you're close to your opponent, you can keep moving to the side and hit him where he's open. So that's a very good drill. But that left hook has to go in both directions. That direction is much more powerful, but you have to be able to walk around with your left hook this way. It's a good defensive maneuver, helps keep you protected, and yet still scores on your opponent. So what you got to do is now move up to the left corner and left hook. I'm going to work against the heavy bag in sort of a free-form method, just sparring with the heavy bag to give you an idea of what it looks like. You can pick up a few things from this. I haven't covered in the tape so far. And take a look. I'm going to start the same way. Jab. That concludes this lesson. Thank you for joining our videotape series on Ultimate Boxing. Remember, to be good at boxing, you got to train regularly, train hard, and keep an open mind.